Alrighty, Grenada, Carrico, Pity Monica, and the world. I'd like to welcome you to another Mikey Live program, people. I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson. It's another pleasure to be back with you. I'm so happy that we at least can spend a few minutes today together, of course, to talk about what's making the news. We are wasting no time. It's Friday. We want to ensure that you get some time to hang out with your family and friends. So in the headlines, 2 injured in crash. Awareness walk to happen this Sunday. We will tell you about that. This has been hosted by the Special Victims Unit of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Also, you can expect a minor interruption to traffic flow to the General Hospital this Saturday. And $345,000 in subventions to be paid out to registered mass bands. We're going to talk more about that. That's for Spice Mass. And GFA Extraordinary Council meeting is going to be taking place. We're going to tell you about that. Yes, and more when we return with the news tonight. Of course, we want to let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and Colombian Emos International and WPG10. But we want to encourage persons to at least share the program. You see, when I share the program, that's how other people get to know what's happening here. So go ahead and share the business. All right, folks. And those of you who are on YouTube, we want to say thank you for viewing. We are coming back. All right, when we come back, it's real news in Ole Lily Lolo. So stay tuned.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments, savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60. But as benefit expenses continue to rise, and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%, a 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rate in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all social security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
The Courts Home event is finally here. Now is the time to get all you need for your home. Create your sweet retreat with our bedroom ranges. Level up the family room with high-definition TVs, entertainment systems, comfy sofas or sectionals. Enjoy more home dining with a new set. Getting into home fitness? We've got that too. And find something shiny and new for your kitchen. All at the Courts Home event, where we have it all.
The 3rd Annual Caribbean Comedy Show. Saturday, August 17th at Spice Basket. Stay locked for more.
I ultimate got glass. You see what I've done with it? You want to swear it raise the grass. Look, I am a very, very serious man.
All right, folks. And of course, already a lot of people are talking about this comedy show. So if you are planning on getting to that show, once tickets go on sale, what you have to do is at least you'll have to get your tickets early just to make sure that you are not going to be left out on that one. All right, so it's going to be a good one. So again, we want to officially welcome everybody onto the program. And of course, this is where it all happens. Now, the first thing that I want to tell all your boy, there seems to be consensus about an issue that happened. Well, I don't know if it's an issue because people are not sure what happened, but yesterday most customers of a particular mobile network reported that they received in some cases, or in most cases, a missed call from a very strange number. Now, one would have thought they were the only person who got that call. However, upon further inquiry, thousands of persons got that call from +881944490604 number. Now, before coming on the program, I attempted to get at least an answer from the mobile network in which these calls were received, and the person was not fully aware, but that's all right. We're going to find out. There are a lot of speculations. It's very rare that you find something like that happening. And of course, I understand people when they say, and we have seen a lot of that on social media today, that they just want to know what this is all about. Yeah. So I'm going to try to continue to see if I can. By the way, did you get a call from that number? If you're in Grenada, did you get a call from that number? I see already hundreds of persons online are talking about this. Like hundreds of persons are talking about this. Maybe it's nothing, but at least if it is nothing, well, the customers would want to know that as well. Yeah. So all right, let's hope that in the next few days we will have an idea. Right. So we're moving on. Yes, I see some people saying that they got the call too. Yeah, I'm telling you, I got the call just the same. And those wondering, well, what the hell is this? Yeah, somebody probably from Afghanistan or some kind of thing. Yeah. So many of you got it right. Yeah. I'm in Trinidad. No calls reported here. Okay, so maybe it's just a Grenada thing. Somebody says that they did not get any reports of that out there in Trinidad, but that's fine. All right, it seems to be Grenadian. All you. The next thing that we have to tell you about the Mount Pleasant Government School. It's a small school in Carriacou. However, they received 100% passes in CPEA. And we figured that it was a good thing to tell you about. And so we have a special report for you from KOMG Promotion on this development.
Mount Pleasant Government School is one of the schools on the island recording 100% passes at the 2019 Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment exams. 12 students sat the exams. Corwin Noel, acting principal and grade 6 teacher at the school, says knowing what the school went through during the first term, it's a good feeling that they were able to get 100% passes.
Well, elated might be an understatement. I am really happy. I'm extremely happy that all 12 students we sent to do the CPA were successful. It is a very good feeling because, as the world knows, we went through a lot during the first term, and it is just elated, it's just overwhelming to know that everyone can really successfully make it through the CPA.
Preparing the students for the exams, according to Mr. Noel, it was difficult.
It was difficult. It was very difficult in that I was asked to act as principal in November of last year, and still was the full-time teacher of the grade 6. So you know the kind of work that is. But I knew what I wanted for the children knew what I wanted for themselves, so together, and the entire staff worked with me to ensure that we have them at this level where everyone can be successful in the exam.
Some of the students spoke about passing the exams and their expectations as they move on to a secondary school.
Great, excited that I passed. Great work, hardworking, being responsible, honesty and stuff like that.
I feel very good. I feel excited and do a lot of work. And we could not really play a lot. We had to work hard.
Okay, so what can we expect from you as you move into the secondary school?
good behavior and listening to teachers and doing good.
I feel amazing that I passed my CPS so I could go to my favorite secondary school of my choice.
Excited, happy because I wasn't a good reader and I passed and I think I did very well. Best behavior, I want to get good in my reading and stuff and get good grades.
I feel excited that I passed my exam, so I move on to our next level.
I feel excellent when I pass it because we put a lot of hard work into it. I'm feeling good. First, I want to thank God. If it was for me, I never was here. And I want to thank the teachers for teaching me. Better grades, behavior, and more things.
1,799 students were assigned to a secondary school throughout the state. 902 males and 897 females. From the Mount Pleasant Government School, I am Kendall Gay with this special report.
All right, thank you very much, KOMG, for that one as we continue. Now, as part of its continued efforts to heighten public awareness and garner support for victims of domestic violence, the Royal Grenada Police Force's Special Victims Unit, the SVU, will be hosting a walk, and that will be on Sunday, 23rd June, commencing at 3:30 p.m. Now, the walk will proceed from the National Stadium car park and culminate at the Monrouge playing field, St. George, with a dance exercise. So people, you are being invited. They say walk in my shoe is the theme. All right. So they say they want to see you come out. They will be having entertainment from people like Boise and Dash and Looney Spark and Electrify, Jab King and so on, because they want to make it fun for everybody. They want victims to see that they have a voice in them, in the Special Victims Unit, and all of you who show up to that event. And so the Special Victims Unit are just asking for you to show up, come out and support this. All right, we're moving on. The Ministry of Health hereby informs the general public that due to ongoing construction work at the General Hospital, there'll be minor interruption in the regular flow of traffic to the hospital during the morning period tomorrow, Saturday, June 22nd, 2019. Now, while the ongoing construction and facilities upgrades are necessary to improve service delivery and patient care, an emergency access plan is in place, and efforts will be made to accommodate visitors and motorists alike. Now, the Ministry of Health and the hospital's management team sincerely apologizes, they say, for the inconvenience this interruption may cause. They want to thank you for your understanding and cooperation. We are moving on. The IICA staff training at Maribo Abattoir. Now, that's the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA. Now, through the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Infrastructure, they say that they remain committed to providing technical assistance towards strengthening operations at the Maribo Slaughterhouse Abattoir in St. Andrews. Now, the staff, butcher, and other persons at the facility for 2 days were privy to safety regulation training from the organization. Now, the training sessions, as we hear from Mina Booker from the Public Relations Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture, was well received by the trainees. We have a special report on that for you.
Butchers, maintenance personnel and staff at the Maribo Abattoir are confident that the training received will result in improvement of the operations and better quality of meat to consumers. On June 18th and 19th respectively, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, through Mr. Daniel Basilieri from the Italy-based company Cogmat, conducted an assessment of the equipment at the facility and exposed several persons to safety safety regulations when using such facility. Basilieri, in delivering the training, utilized best practices in an effort to raise awareness on the safety regulations governing operations at the facility. ICA, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Infrastructure, remains committed to providing technical assistance towards strengthening operations at the Marabou Slaughterhouse or Abattoir in St. Andrew, an obligation that both ministries welcome and view as very critical given government's investment in such modern facility. Floor supervisor at the abattoir, Miss Amanda Charles Francis, admitted that the training will help them to understand and improve their roles.
It's our second training with ICA and collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, and throughout this time it helps us understand our role here and what we're supposed to do. It also helps us in improving ourselves, as we would have been running for almost a year and some. On a trial scale at the abattoir, it is easier now for us to understand what we're supposed to do, safety and our responsibilities here. So with this training, it will just ensure that we continue to do what we have to do. We improve in the areas that we seem to be failing in and make sure that we have the best products out of the market. Yeah, from our public butchers and so on.
Frankie Buckmeyer from the Ministry of Agriculture's Veterinary and Livestock Division also emphasized the benefits of the initiative.
After this training, I think it will help everyone to improve the skills and the way we go about operation at this abattoir.
Chief Veterinary and Livestock Officer within the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Kimond Cummings, expressed his gratitude to ICA for the support and described the engagements as timely.
With this training, we hope that we could reinforce what persons would have already known with regards to safety and how to properly use the equipment and maintenance of the equipment to ensure longevity of those equipments, and I think this is really critical.
Also reiterating the benefits of the facility was ICA National Specialist for Grenada, Derek Charles.
The objective is to ensure that the workers and the staff know how to use the equipment to avoid breakdowns and costly repair. For example, if something is wrong, they should be able to identify it initially and call in a maintenance person who could maintain or repair it.
The training aspiration outlined by Charles is to build capacity of the staff and butchers to use equipment properly and protect the welfare of animals, thus allowing consumers to have safer meat or wholesome meat from the abattoir. ICA has been involved with this project since 2008 when a request was made by the Ministry of Agriculture for technical support. The organization continues to provide equipment, assessment, comprehensive report and recommendations towards supporting the operations at Marabou. This assessment of equipment and training of staff forms part of the groundwork completed by the international organization in preparation of its ICA's annual work plan. For the Ministry of Agriculture's Public Relations Unit, I am Mina Buka.
Thank you very much, Mina, for that one, folks. Two persons, was seriously injured according to reports following an accident that happened today, boy. You know, one witness said that the vehicle hit a wall. Now, we do not know the extent of the injuries, but what we were told is that the persons were taken to hospital. The incident happened, according to reports, in Marquis. You know, it was just today I was saying, but wait, this week we didn't have many accidents. You know, it seems like things have slowed down a bit, but we are ending the week with this. According to reports, the men were obviously in pain when they were taken from the accident scene to the hospital. We are going to continue to try to see if we can get updates on these men. As you can see on your screen, two men laying face up on their backs, helpless. You know, no star. We do not know what caused the accident. We are moving on. Folks, $345,000 in subventions to be paid out to registered mass bands. Now, as the 2019 Carnival season moves into high gear, organizers of the events, Grenada's Spice Mass Corporation, SMC, is endeavoring to keep their side of the bargain by ensuring that registered mass bands and parish committees have the necessary funds to get started with their preparations. Now, addressing members of the media during a press conference last Friday to officially launch Carnival City and hand out subventions to the participating bands and committees, Chief Executive Officer, CEO of Spice Mass Corporation, Kelvin Jacob, said the necessary systems are being put in place to ensure a seamless delivery of the 2019 Carnival season. Now, according to Jacob, the overall package to be handed out in subventions for the 2019 season would be $345,000, and among the beneficiaries are Calypso, Mass, Queen contestants, Steel Pan, and all parish committees. Last Friday, however, only 2 of the beneficiaries received subventions. The parish committees, which received a total of $25,000, and registered mass bands, traditional and fancy bands, received $50,000. Now, this move, the CEO said, is in keeping with the government's policy over the years and is aimed at assisting the various components of Carnival prepare for what has been dubbed Grenada's biggest cultural event. Meanwhile, responding to the much talked about increase in registration fees for participation in the 2019 Carnival, Jacob said that the increase is necessary at this time given the high operating costs of SMC. The SMC has to deal with this on an annual basis, and the present financial situation of the company is what would have driven them to the increase in those registration fees and so on. Jacob said what is important to note is that monies paid towards registration do not go towards fixing roads or bridges, etc., but are reinvested into the system to help advance the work of the art form. As the month of July approaches, the public can expect an increase in the number of carnival-related activities, beginning with the Soca Monarch quarterfinals carded for July 4th to the 7th, Groovy quarterfinals July 12th to the 14th, to be followed by Groovy semifinals on the 25th of July, all taking place at the Carnival City, Tantine Court, St. George. Holy boy. The Grenada Cricket Association, how are we looking for time? All right, let's go. Now, the Grenada Cricket Association is to host a USA Under-19 cricket team for a 4-match one-day series. That's according to my colleagues at WeFM. Now, the USA team will be here for 1 week and matches will be at the Grenada National Stadium. Now, this will serve as preparation for Grenada's participation in the 2019 Winlot Inc. Windward Island Cricket Board of Control ICBC Under-19 tournament. It's scheduled for Dominica, June 24th to July 4th, 2019. Now, the USA Under-19 team is also preparing for the ICC America's Regional Qualifier this summer in Toronto in an effort to qualify to the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup in 2020 in South Africa. Grenada and the USA Under-19 cricket teams will begin their series of matches June 24th. So you haven't heard about the GFA fiasco for a little while. So you thought it has gone away, eh? You thought you was not going to hear anything about it again. Well, nothing no go so. They should be having a special meeting coming up soon.
Good afternoon to the executive.
Hold on. Yes, man. Thank you, Mr. Allen. You understand? We have to let you know about it. Now, clubs within the ambit of the Grenada Football Association, the GFA, have been called to an extraordinary meeting on Saturday, where the emphasis will be the displacement of 5 members of the executive. Now, this was due to a decision taken by the Council on the 6th of April 2019 following a move by the 5 members who had voted at the executive level to suspend the President, Cheney Joseph. Now, the 5 filed an injunction in the court against their suspension on the grounds of an illegal process. Now, the court had instructed that the GFA should seek to settle the matter. GFA recognizes the matter to be urgent and should be addressed at the council meeting tomorrow. Now, the motion considered by the General Council on April 6, 2019 will be reviewed. So just when you think you have heard it all, it continues. We are moving on. I told you we don't want to keep all along on Fridays. I don't want to keep all it too long. I have more things to tell all you about, boy. Deaths in the Dominican Republic, people. The mysterious deaths of American citizens in Dominica seems to be raising some concerns. 11 people dead following trips to the Dominican Republic. People want to know what's going on, so they say they're looking into the business. But we're going to tell them about that and more. When we come back, it's going to be real news in all the Lily Lolo.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
The Courts Home event is finally here. Now is the time to get all you need for your home. Create your sweet retreat with our bedroom ranges. Level up the family room with high-definition TVs, entertainment systems, comfy sofas or sectionals. Enjoy more home dining with a new set. Getting into home fitness? We've got that too. And find something shiny and new for your kitchen. All at the Courts Home event, where we have it all.
We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments, savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60. But as benefit expenses continue to rise, and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%, a 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rates in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all Social Security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
This is your year of mega breakthrough. Don't miss the prophetic camp meeting with international guest speaker Prophet Janelle Brown in Grenada at the Grenada Youth Cultural and Recreational Center, Mon Rouge, Grenance. Friday, June 21st at 6:30 p.m. Saturday, June 22nd at 6:30 p.m. And Sunday, June 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Come believing God for your healing and breakthrough. This is your year of mega breakthrough.
We all look forward to our retirement.
All right, hey, I didn't mind the breakthrough now. Bring it coming on. All right, so folks, let's just get back into some real news right now. For those of you who are just joining us, we would like to say thank you for coming on, man. We got some more things to tell you about. Right, so earlier, so hear this one now, right? Cardi B, according to a TMZ report filed early Friday, has been indicted by a grand jury on multiple charges relating to a New York strip club incident that's been in and out of the headlines in recent months. Now, the 14 charges include misdemeanor reckless endangerment, criminal solicitation, conspiracy, harassment, and assault, as well as 2 counts of felony attempted assault with intent to cause serious physical injury. Previously, Cardi rejected a plea deal in connection with the incident, which, as mentioned in previous reports, revolves around 2 women who claim to have sustained injuries during a fight they allege began because of a request from Cardi. Now, I wonder what that request was. Thursday night, Cardi was honored with the Songwriter of the Year award at the ASCAP, ASCAP's Rhythm and Soul Music Awards in Beverly Hills. With everybody saying I'm not this or that, sometimes I gotta see it and feel it for myself because it's hard, Cardi said when accepting the award per Billboard's rundown. Everybody always wants to say I made it because of this or made it because of that. I made it because I work my bleep off. Alright, so we ain't know what is going to happen with this, but we just thought that we should share that with you. Yeah, vocabulary, so. Anyway, Dominican Republic is something I've been following, you know, just doing my own background checks. Multiple people have been dying, right? So for weeks, horrifying stories of American tourists dying at resorts have trickled out of the Dominican Republic. Now, there was the 78-year-old man who perished with fluid in his lungs a day after he was reported to have been vomiting at his hotel. The 53-year-old woman who was found unresponsive in a room dead after a heart attack, local authorities said. A 67-year-old who died on a trip for his stepson's wedding, a 55-year-old man whose family said he died of a heart attack, some kind of respiratory issue last week. All they say, all of them, seem to be legitimate causes of death. Now, the death of at least 11 Americans over the past year have made travelers a bit anxious and led to some simply just staying away, right? But what they are saying, that though these deaths and everything surrounding it may seem suspicious, there is nothing so far to indicate that there is an increase or a spike in the number of persons who are dying after visiting the Dominican Republic. They say that the tourism minister there has been following the issue and has blasted media coverage about it. He has downplayed reports, the minister there has downplayed reports of an avalanche of deaths. He says it's a sensational portrayal. It says it is not true. Millions, thousands of Americans visit the Dominican Republic. And there is nothing in the statistics so far to suggest that there is a spike. So he's saying, well, obviously, if people are dying of natural causes, it has nothing to do with them coming out of the Dominican Republic. It has nothing to do with that. People just die naturally. It so happens that they have visited the Dominican Republic. And because there are so many of them, it will seem, there are other reports that suggest the same thing too. That, hey, though a lot of emphasis is being placed on those deaths, there is nothing unusual. So let's see. They say about 2.7 million Americans visited the Dominican Republic last year. So if 2.7 million people visit the Dominican, and I get where they're coming from. If 2.7 million people visit per year, and you have 11 out of those 2.7 million at some point in time would have died after visiting there, what's so unusual about that? Anywhere that you have a high number of people visiting, you will find that people die, but it doesn't suggest that it's anything from those countries that they just visited. All right? They are saying so far, at least this report, there has been nothing to suggest that there's anything extraordinary about these people who have seemingly died of natural causes. We are moving on. How are we looking for a time? Oh yeah. So here this one. This one comes from Trinidad, right? National Security Minister. That has to do with a mother who was killed at her son's graduation. Now, the Minister Stuart Young, that's the National Security Minister, right, said yesterday the murder of the state witness Candy Ann McIntyre on Tuesday was a tragedy, but added that she was not in the witness protection program. Police, however, suspect that the order to kill McIntyre at the Santa Cruz on Tuesday came from prison, and 2 inmates were still being questioned up to last night. McIntyre, 36, was killed shortly after her 12-year-old son's primary school graduation. Her son's chilling reaction as he cried while holding his mother's lifeless body was recorded by people in the area and posted on social media. No one has been held for the killing, but the news in Trinidad was told investigators visited the 2 men at the maximum security prison, in Aruca on Wednesday because they may have information about the incident. So man in prison and they still killing? Yeah. You find that making sense? Well, I never hear that yet. Never. Anyway, people, taking a break. We have National Report, we have the weather and things coming up,
The 3rd Annual Caribbean Comedy Show. Saturday, August 17th at Spice Basket. Stay locked for more.
I own a cut glass. You see what I done with it? You want to swear it raise a grass. Look, I am a very, very serious man.
This is your year of mega breakthrough. Don't miss the prophetic camp meeting with international guest speaker Prophet Janelle Brown in Grenada at the Grenada Youth Cultural and Recreational Center, Montrouge, Grenade. Friday, June 21st at 6:30 p.m. Saturday, June 22nd at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, June 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Come believing God for your healing and breakthrough. This is your year of mega breakthrough.
We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments. savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60. But as benefit expenses continue to rise, and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%, a 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rate in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all social security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
All right, folks, and right now it is time for the National Report. Following the National Report, we will have for you the weather.
Grenada has developed national plan to mitigate against risk in its financial space. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back. With the news for Friday, June 21st, I am Sherry-Ann Noel. Grenada will seek to develop a national action plan to mitigate against the vulnerabilities discovered during its risk assessment process. This will be done following a final workshop next week, which will be hosted by the Financial Intelligence Unit and the AML-CFT Commission to ensure risks are minimized or eliminated altogether. Entities like insurance companies, real estate, and persons in the banking business must be registered as mandated by the proceeds of the Crime Act No. 7 of 2018. Registration of the entities allows the Anti-Money Laundering Commission to have a sense of the type of risk the entity can input, which will then give the Commission the opportunity to adequately deal with the relevant entities. The first of the 40 recommendations of the Financial Action Task Force speaks to the importance of the countries understanding their various levels of risk with regard to anti-money laundering and terrorist financing.
What Grenada has embarked on over the last 2 years is what we call a risk assessment that was actually conducted by the World Bank. So that process will conclude next week with a closing seminar where we would actually get an opportunity to discuss the various entities and the various risk levels, and also develop a national action plan with which to deal and to mitigate the vulnerabilities that were unearthed during the actual risk assessment process. So as a connection to that legislation will assist us to have what we call ongoing and consistent assessment of the various levels of risk that exists within the financial space, of course, among the regulated entities and the entities that are conducting relevant business.
Head of the Financial Intelligence Unit, Superintendent Tafawa Pear, says registration forms can be filled on the site or downloaded and done manually by the entities, after which a registration fee must be paid at the Treasury. There is a 30-day period for the Commission to vet information to ensure accuracy, following which entities will be issued a certificate showing they have registered with the AML Commission.
What is the value of such a certificate? It therefore means that while you go on to conduct additional businesses, for example, where you go to open an account at a bank or some other financial institution, it would say to that institution that, look, I am registered, I have an understanding of my level of risk, I have a relationship with the FIU and the Commission, I understand what it is to file a suspicious activity report, that I also have a written anti-money laundering policy, and so I'm actually ready for business. Now, the institution that you enter into that relationship with would feel much more comfortable and can now determine what level of risk you impute to their own institution and determine how you go forward.
Close to 28 entities have already registered. Registration is done annually, at which time the fees must be paid. The largest fee of $500 applies to entities like credit unions, insurance companies, real estate companies, and brokers. The fee for non-profit organizations is $100. Grenada is said to benefit yet again from a United Nations implemented initiative, which will aid in combating abuse of all forms. The Spotlight Initiative is a global multi-year partnership between the European Union and the United Nations to eliminate all forms of violence against women and girls by 2030. The initiative will provide technical and financial support to the country in an effort to end violence of all forms against women and girls. Delroy Louza has the details.
A team of representatives from different UN agencies, including the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women UN Women, the UN Population Fund, the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF, the International Labour Organization the ILO, and the Pan American Health Organization PAHO was in Grenada on Wednesday to launch formal consultation on the Spotlight Initiative. The Spotlight Initiative is one which was formed to respond to all forms of violence against women and girls, with a particular focus on domestic and family violence, sexual and gender-based violence and harmful practices, femicide, human trafficking, and sexual and economic exploitation. The team met with representatives from various sectors including civil society, various government and non-governmental organizations, seeking their input on the initiative. UN Resident Coordinator for the Eastern Caribbean and Barbados and Mission Leader Didier Trebuchet speaks to the implementation of such an initiative in the Grenadian context.
We really aim to respond to the priorities and the gaps that the various persons would identify, both from government and civil society, and we really look at what would be the priorities in terms of strengthening the legislative and policy framework, which is already very strong. We've noted that Grenada has done a lot of progress in this area, so we are very pleased and we really want to capitalize on this. But we also look at strengthening institutions, looking after prevention against violence, and looking at data, how we can strengthen data to improve evidence-based policy making, among many others.
Coordinator of the National Committee for the Prevention of Child Sexual Abuse, Jacqueline Loris Pascal, is quite optimistic that this initiative will find results.
What we need to be doing really is looking at how we can find solutions to this problem, this burgeoning problem, really, shall we say, of child sexual abuse. Now, as I said, it's not only going to do with child sexual abuse, but also abuse on adults, sexual abuse on adults, and of course, domestic violence, in particular, intimate partner violence. I like the way in which it is structured because we're going to be looking at not only a preventative modality, but we're also going to be looking at the structures, the legislation structures, how legislation is impacting on what we do. Grenada is, shall we say, up there in the region. I even surpassed a lot of the persons in the region in terms of the legislative reform. We have a gamut of them. How is that working for us? How can persons, what is the situation of access to justice? When we have access to justice, how is the criminal justice system working for us? So these are all the questions we're going to be asking and answering under that project.
One of the key players in the implementation of the initiative is the Ministry of Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment, and Acting Director for Social Development, Mrs. Creasy Worm Charles, welcomes such a timely initiative.
I think this is very, very important for Grenada. It augurs well for us. It is in line with the government's objective, 2019 to 2021, in terms of working insistently against ending child sexual abuse and abuse on a whole against women and children. So this is very, very important for our country. It's a stepping stone really in terms of bringing justice, to children who have been victims of abuse. And not just only that too, but technical assistance for our key stakeholders, increasing their capacity to respond in a better way in terms of ending child sexual abuse and even intimate partner violence and domestic abuse in all forms.
Approximately 2.4 million euros will be expended in this initiative, which will be implemented over a 3-year period. For the National Report, I'm Delroy Lozan.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man.
Foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada.
Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fetes, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest juve in the world, followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8th to 12th for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell left the state today to attend the state's funeral for former Prime Minister of Jamaica, the late Edward Seaga. Dr. Mitchell will be among persons delivering tributes when Mrs. Seaga is laid to rest on Sunday, June 23, 2019. The Prime Minister will be joined by Dr. Francis Alexis, who in 1984 was the leader of the Grenada Democratic Movement, which merged with 2 other parties to form the new National Party. The late Mr. Seaga, who was Prime Minister at the time, is recognized for sharing valuable insight and guidance, which was useful in NNP's formation. In the absence of Dr. Mitchell, Honorable Emmeline Pear has been appointed acting Prime Minister. Honorable Pear will act in the position until Sunday night when Dr. Mitchell returns to the state. The community of River Sally comes alive on Saturday as management of the Hard Rock Sport Club stages a fundraiser 2020 cricket match between the Adrian Mitchell's All-Stars and the Prime Minister's 11. The proceeds of Saturday's fundraiser game go towards assisting former Sports Minister Adrian Mitchell with medical expenses. Mr. Adrian Spaceman Mitchell is happy that after years of contributing to sports in Grenada and his Hard Rock Club, he can now be a beneficiary.
I feel very appreciative of the fact that, the sports club which I manage is being involved in such a venture. And, we're looking forward. I think that it will be a very interesting event because the teams that we play will be 2 competitive teams. And we're looking forward to a very successful fundraising day.
Assistant manager of the Adrian Mitchell Sports Club, Ricky Williams, says Saturday's game will be free, exciting and competitive with several national players. There will also be entertainment and bouncing castle for the children. And with this story, we come to the end of the National Report for Friday, June 21st, 2019. I am Sherian Noel on behalf of the entire news team, thanking you very much for viewing.
All right, thank you very much, Sherian, and those who were responsible for the production of the National Report. Let's just take a look at the weather, see what it's going to be like. You see the generic graph on your screen, but we're going to give you the specifics that was sent to us by the Met Office here in Grenada. So for tonight, winds are northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. We are expecting a few light showers. It's expected to be windy and hazy, but with a low chance of a few light showers. Seas are moderate, waves up to 8 feet in open waters. And that's your weather report for tonight. All right, so we see what things are going to be looking like. Let's hope that we get a little shower. It's been overcast so far, but we're still hoping that we can get just a little bit of shower. All right, now the airtime temperature around midday today was about 29.5 degrees Celsius. Let's see, I really need some, for the place to feel a little cool again. Things are heating up again after the 2 days of rain. All right, so before we go, let's just say hello to a few people who are tuned in on the program right now. Zaka and Jane and Rolanda, Noreen, Hazel, Mervin and Irma, Crispin, Mishi, and Zaka, everyone else, man, Danica, everyone on the program, big up to yourself, and we hope to see you. We have a live event on Sunday, so you can look forward to that as well. And as we get closer and closer to Carnival, we promise you to give you more and more and more lives. All right, guys, so look forward to that. We're not gonna tell you where we're gonna be. We're just gonna show up and bust the live on you. All right, we're not gonna tell you where, but it's gonna be a Carnival related live on Sunday. All right, Bernadette, Ala, Risi, Queenie, Cubine, Caroline. Hey, what's up, Caroline? I had to call you. We had to talk. Feel I might want to do a session by you next Saturday. What you find? You have space for me? Yeah, I might want to do a session by you Saturday. I'm not sure, but I'll let you know. All right. Trevelyn, Mom, Noreen, Angela, and everybody else, all right, on the program. Big up all the whole self. All right, guys, thank you very much, and we're going to touch base on the weekend. Be safe. Don't do what I wouldn't and think. You know what I mean? Good. Let's go. Spice Girl, big up. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say ja. No. Good night, everyone. God bless you. Hey, we have a cleanup tomorrow, God's willing, all right? Guav, Bay, come out. Show your face and let's do this, all right?